Hi, it's Nicole with Fabrication Studio and Raise Your Shade. I wanted to share with you the new VAKO headrail 20.4. This one is a clutch drive. It's a 1.4 geared clutch, heavy duty. You can do quite a large shade with this. It can handle a lot of weight and width and length. Interline, line, you name it. It's really meant for some good size shades if you would like. I want to share with you some of the neat features about it and how to assemble it. They have some really nice brackets here, nice bracket options. They have a regular wall mount snap-in bracket, which you can kind of see just sits off the wall. And what I really like is this option of the same bracket, only it has a deeper return. And sometimes I like to use this headrail for a door and do a reverse mount. And I tape Velcro on the back here. And this depth allows the Velcro and the fabrics to fit underneath the bracket so that you don't have to cut around any of it in order to fit the bracket. So I really like that. And I do use this pretty primarily for that application. And then they have a ceiling bracket also, so there's some nice bracket options. But let's assemble it. So if you get a kit, it's going to be 3, 4, 5, or 6 foot headrail with your drive rod, and you'll have to cut it to your to the size that you need. Your headrail is cut 5/8 inch less than what you want your finished size to be, and your drive rod is cut 2.5 inches less than the headrail. The first thing that you do is you take your clutch. It has this little brass screw on the end. Loosen up that screw. Look inside to make sure it's released all the way, because otherwise you won't get the drive rod in all the way. On your drive rod there's a groove. That groove needs to match up with that screw. And then tighten it down. Put that aside. And these cord rolls have some really neat features that I'm going to share with you. One of them is that it has a tab here. This is the locking tab. And what I like about it is that once you have these within your headrail, you can easily release the lock and move them around to where you want them to be, to adjust easily and quickly without having to undo your cord. So it's a very quick way to just adjust your distances. It also has this little orange tab that stops the inner spool from spinning around before you get the drive shaft in, because it's really annoying trying to get those spools all lined up the same in order for your drive shaft to run through so that all your cords are running along in the same position and starting from the same place. So once you have the drive rod through, you can pull these out because it now won't spin. So I'm going to do, on this headrail, I'm going to do 3. And where your cord comes out of your spool, that faces your clutch on all of the rows except for the last one. And that's because you need to be able to get your cord as close to the outside edge as possible. If you did it the same way, your outside edge of your shade would be 5 inches from your cord, and that doesn't work. So you want to make sure that the last one goes the opposite direction. So I'm going to do 3 on this one, and they're super easy to slide in. If this tab is like that at all, it won't slide in. As soon as you release that, it slides right in. So I'm putting 1 that direction, because this is going to be a right hand. So So now I'm switching these the other way. So that I have my outside cords closest to the ends. And now you take your drive rod and just insert it down the center. And right here is a locking screw that you might have to release a little bit. Oh, mine seems to be okay. Push that on and tighten up your screw. Oops, going the wrong way. And then on the other end, so that your cords don't slide out, you want to put on your end cap. Then you can adjust these to wherever you want them to adjust, and you push down these tabs and it locks them in place and they no longer slide. But if you need to adjust it, you pop it up with a screwdriver, which is easier than using your fingers because it's kind of hard to get in there. And you can just slide it around and then re-push it back down again. Once you have all your drive rod through your cord spools, you can pull out these little tabs with a pair of pliers. You don't need those anymore. So one of the things to be aware of is that because you have your last two cord spools facing opposite directions, it means you have a much wider distance between your cord rows. And it measures about 9 1/4 inches. But a lot of times we want our rows to be less than that. So VAKO has a really nice little cord guide that allows you to adjust where you want your cords to actually come out. Even though these are fixed here, you can adjust where you want them to actually operate from. So I pull the end off. Let's look at it from this end. So this is your cord guide. It has a little backing plate and a screw, and you're going to want to loosen that screw a little bit. The flat side goes to the back of your head rail. The front's got the Velcro. And it slips. It's not always the easiest thing to do, I will say, but it is a nifty thing. It slips on. I could have loosened that a little bit more. Slips on, and you can place it where you want to place it. So if I want my cord row to be closer to the end, I can put it over to the end and then put my cord through there. Or if I want these rows to be closer together, I could put one in here and make this distance a much less, and then even out the others. So it's a really nice little feature. I like that a lot. And put your cap back on. Tighten down your screw at the top. And then over here you can pop off this end cap for your cord chain, or your chain pull, I should say. Put that on. Snap that back on. And you are good to go. I hope you like it as much as I do.